Yo, what's good, bro? You're live on Hoops and Brews right now. Go ahead, get your plug in. Let the people know where they can find you at.
What's up, man? This is Banks No Rest over there at IG, Banks No Rest, and Twitter. Do a podcast with my boy called Watch Talk Radio, which is located in the bio of my IG page. So shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to Amp, Random Acts the Podcast, Scott and them over there at Ball Online Podcast, which is under the Barbershop Network.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yo, huge shout out to the homie Amp. Always looking out, always engaged, always one of the first people to listen, always one of the people retweeting. Same with the homie, Biz. Shout out to the homie Biz as well. Always retweeting, always engaged. Shout out to everybody, out there that do their own thing but still enjoy our thing. Shout out to you as well for calling in, bro. So, all right, you live on Hoops and Brews right now. What do you want to talk about?
Gator.
Man, goddamn. How the hell there's so many Bulls fans that's Lakers fans? I mean, let me go back on that. How is it that a lot of people from Chicago and the East Coast are Lakers fans?
Everybody.
I'm being from LA. How?
Everybody's a Lakers fan, bro. It's the Lakers. It's like the Cowboys, G. Everybody's a Lakers fan.
Right, and I can see that because they're the second biggest market, being LA in America. I'm still trying to understand as to how.
I'm not a Lakers fan.
Okay, who's a Lakers fan? Nobody?
I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Lonzo fan, but I'm not a Lakers fan. As you say this, Pavy's from Chicago, who he's never been a Bulls fan. He's never been a Bulls fan though. But guess what? But guess what jersey he has on right now?
LeBron Lakers jersey.
Exactly. I'm not a Lakers fan at all. Actually, ironically that you said that, I got on a Bulls hat today. I'm a Bulls fan. I'm a Bulls fan through and through. Like when the Bulls was trash, I knew they weren't gonna win. I knew they weren't gonna make the playoffs, and I really like Steph Curry. So Steph Curry is one of my favorite players, which is why I like and root for the Warriors, and I have. But also I've been rooting for the Warriors since like 2004 because they was one of my favorite league pass teams. So but I'm not a Lakers fan. Never been a Lakers fan. Hated the Lakers. Hated Shaq and Kobe. Hated Shaq. Then I started liking Shaq. Then I started hating Kobe. Then I hated D'Lo because D'Lo was a bonehead. Never been a Lakers fan. I liked Lonzo before they drafted Lonzo, and then they just happened to draft Lonzo.
I'll say this about that. For one, you got to remember,
right,
especially coming from Chicago, like the Bulls were trash, like for half of the 2000s. Basically,
the majority of the 2000s.
Basically for a whole decade,
until Derrick Rose got drafted.
D Rose got there. For like a whole decade, the Bulls pretty much weren't good. So if you're I'm 27. I was 7 when Mike got done playing. So I think the way most people get into sports, at least the way I got into sports, was through players, not really teams. Like my favorite players, I was in turn a fan of those teams. So AI was the next guy that I looked at. So I was a Sixers fan. But I feel like you have Kobe there, you have Shaq there. The Lakers are a very popular team, and also, like I said, Chicago, the Bulls were just bad. As far as I go, I'm not a Lakers fan. Like I didn't grow up a Lakers fan again, but I'm always a fan of players more so than teams. But one thing that did happen when I moved to LA, obviously I watched more Lakers and Clippers games, so I just became a fan of the Lakers more because I'm just out here and that's what I'm around.
Yeah,
like they're just on TV.
I understand that one.
So I just like if I'm mad bored, if my league passes, like even if I don't have league pass, I can always watch Lakers games.
No, but it's not even that. Also, living in this market, the Lakers are always usually the Lakers, the Clippers, the Suns, the Kings, and the Warriors are always the last teams to play. So if you live out here in this market, if I get off work at 6 o'clock, by the time I get home, it's like 6:30. By the time I get some dinner, make some dinner, it's 7:30. I'm sitting down to watch something on TV. The Lakers, the Warriors, the Kings, and the Clippers are usually on at 7:30.
Yeah.
So you gonna naturally watch them. Like even last year, I wound up watching like 50 Lakers games, mainly because I like Lonzo, but also because usually I'll put it this way: when Robert Sacre and Kobe Bryant and Smush Parker and all of these terrible ass players that they had on a team for the past like 4 or 5 years on a team, the only time I would ever really watch them would be when they were playing other West Coast market teams or they were the last like game on. I never consciously made an effort to watch them because they were garbage. They were absolute hot garbage for like a solid 4 years. And then, like, once they drafted Lonzo, I was like, all right, cool. I got a reason to watch the Lakers now. And then they all started playing well. Kuzma did well last year. I was like, all right, great. Even watching them lose last year was entertaining. Years before watching them lose, the games were always competitive, but it was just embarrassing to watch. But last year was when they finally got to a point where they were competitive every night. and when they weren't competitive, as a Laker fan, if you were upset, I understood it. Does that make sense?
I feel you.
So as someone who casually, I mean not casually, but as someone who, even if I'm casually watching basketball, now I got more of a reason to watch a Lakers game. And like I said, they won the last games on. So even if you live in Chicago, you know, the time difference ain't that big I mean, it ain't 3 hours, it's 2 hours. So even if you watching it till 11:30, like, you really not that bad, especially if you was watching Kobe and Shaq. You're not going to stay up till 11:30 to watch Kobe and Shaq. You wildin'. You know what I mean? So I think it's just the Lakers. Same with the Celtics. People love to hate the Celtics because Boston has a history of being a racist town. But there's a legion of Celtics fans.
A lot of Celtics fans.
They just not that vocal because everybody knew that Boston was a racist town until, like, well, I would say until recently, but do we really know that?
I actually know somebody that grew up in LA who is like a Celtics fan.
No
that hates
offense,
Lakers.
but yeah.
I know somebody who grew up in LA. Like, I remember when they traded IT for Kyrie, he was angry. I was like, why are you angry? What?
Yeah, he wildin'.
He was angry.
Yeah, wildin'. Big wildin'. Exactly.
Well, no, I'm definitely with you on that because last year I did watch those. I watched most of the games because I'm a Lonzo dude too. So I did watch the game. I'm not gonna have the best of what I take and say he's gonna be MVP.
Yeah, I know. Don't get wrong. That take was scorching. That take was like, have you ever seen Tropic Thunder?
Oh, absolutely.
You know how they got the trailer with Ben Stiller before the movie where it's like Scorcher 6, Scorcher 7, Scorcher 8. That was like a Scorcher 39 level hot take. It's perfectly fine. I'm not apologizing because I never apologize for my hot takes, but it was a little wild.